let you know when the opener's wrapping, and I'll throw it to you.
All right. Hey there. Welcome to Trucker Tank. Today we've got a special guest, Tony Justice. I think everybody knows who he is. And Tony and I was basically going to talk a little bit about the origins of Trucker Tank and the idea behind doing this. And so, to start with, this show is all about trying to help truckers implement their ideas and start businesses. And so we're calling it Trucker Tank Fueling Implementation. It'll be every Tuesday at 2 o'clock. So easy to remember, Trucker Tank Tuesday at 2. So say hello, Tony.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Good to see you, Van.
It's nice seeing you, too.
Glad to see you doing a little work for a change.
You're low life. You know that?
Yep.
Oh, goodness. Tony, we pick on each other about how lazy we are, but I think we both work 80 to 100 hours a week. I know Tony does on trucking and his music, and then I do it developing products, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, that's the reason I do it. So Tony and I, what we were doing, how we came up with this idea. We were on a road trip to Washington for Trucker Nation, and Tony was telling me about all the window time that truck drivers have and how much time they have to think about different ideas for products, for businesses. And he says, but the problem is they don't know how to actually implement their ideas and turn them into a business. And I said, wouldn't that be cool if we started a show where we help truckers with their ideas and walk through the different steps of what it takes to start a business, everything from legal questions to how do you get prototypes made, how do you actually go into production, what's the best practices. And that's where this show come from. And so today's the kickoff. The reason Tony's on as my first guest is because this was an idea we had together. And Tony, you want to expand on that just a little bit about, all the ideas truckers have going down the road? I know that's where you write a lot of your songs.
Well, I mean, we have tons of time to think out here and, driving the miles that we drive and the hours that we spend behind the steering wheel. And, there's a lot of drivers that come up with a lot of really, really good ideas, just kind of just like me with my music, label. Misty says, Tony's the ideal guy, but she's the one that makes the rubber meet the road. She's got that ability to take ideals and, good ideas that we come up with and make them start grabbing some traction. And, working with you, Van, over the last few years, I've learned a lot because, you're a business guy. And, I'm not Mr. Business guy. I'm more of a PR guy, like I said, ideal guy. So, it's important to have that, to have something out there for people, who do come up with, good ideas. For a real good example, a good Facebook friend of mine and friend in person as well. That's a good friend, but he come up with the trucker stick, which is, it's a little squeegee that you can clean your mirrors with. It's the size of the mirrors. And, he's just an everyday normal truck driver. And I just come out of the TA here in Montgomery, Alabama, at exit 77. And, lo and behold, there's this trucker stick sitting on the shelf. And, I seen him last night, not before last, at the Pilot. So, that's when you don't know what you're doing and you start having success, there's a lot of mistakes that are made. I've done time and time again since the music started gaining traction, and it turned into just a dream and having fun, playing music into a business. I mean, it's, I've told you before, it's 10% of the music business is a blast, the writing, the performing, the recording, entertaining. But the other 90% of it, it's just like any other business. And I've learned some hard lessons. And thankfully, you've kind of come along and through Robbie Hopkins introducing us, and have been able to guide me in a lot of different situations and send me advice, help me with contractual things. And so drivers, not everybody has that opportunity. So you reaching out and offering to give that advice, or maybe even step in and help them with that is something that's needed in the industry. And I'm really excited about the idea you got.
Yeah, I actually mentor a couple of different businesses. There are startups as well, especially startup businesses. I've done startups from small to very large. One of the startups I did was with NatureWorks. We made plastics out of corn, and we had very wealthy parents companies behind that. But that was time is all said and done, $1 billion to spend on that startup. That was crazy. But now it's everywhere, and a lot of startups, the first question they need to answer, and before anything else, is does the market need it? And just like with all the bull snot products, you know this to be true. I go talk to truckers first, and they tell me what products they need, and based on what they're telling me, I try to develop products that actually fill that need. You can have the best idea in the world, but if nobody needs it, it ain't gonna sell. I mean, a little statistics that I always like to look at. 42% of companies, all of startup companies, 42% fail due to not validating a market need before starting their business. That's a big number. That's almost half the companies that start. They never really took the time to see, does the market need it and does the market want it? Just like trucker sticks. I've talked to that guy as well. He's a great guy. The market had a need.
Shane. His first name's Shane. I can't remember his
Yeah,
last
it's
name.
Shane, but I can't come up with his last name either. But he validated the market need to start with, because the squeegees that they had at truck stops, they wouldn't fit on the mirrors of the truck. So he developed a product that fit a very specific need for truckers. Just like all the bull snot products, every one of them, they were developed through conversation with truckers. They were tested by you among the whole posse. We got a posse, Tony's to Marshall, and they test the products. Before it ever comes to market, they test them. They make sure it's the best product on the market. If it's not, they beat the crap out of me and tell me what I need to make better. And then I go back to work, and through all that interaction, you can make some really good products that specifically fit the needs of the truckers. Because, the companies, the products are engineered for truckers, performance for all. Yeah, it's been picked up by, the four-wheelers and a lot of other industries like Bass Pro with the spray grease. None of those were expected. The products were specifically developed, like the fifth wheel grease. It took forever to develop that. But it was, one way it's developed was you lower, dolly down, lower let the air out of your airbags, spray it in that quarter to half-inch gap between the fifth wheel and the plate, and then you just inflate your airbags, dolly back up, and you're gone. It's that simple. And, all the products were designed to actually make truckers' lives easier. That was the purpose. And that's what every new business owner or anybody that has an idea, that's the first thing they need to do is, what is the need? And just like another company I mentored, their CEO, and he's developed Fix-A-Flap, which is actually how you fix mud flaps. And it's going to be on the market soon. Truckers, they have so many great ideas. I mean, I've talked to them at the truck shows, obviously, been with you, and they have so many great ideas. They just need to understand or have a little guidance and have somebody to call that can point them in the right direction. And that's what the whole intent with this show is. And I'll start posting. I tell you, probably the easiest way to get on the show, if you've got, if you're a trucker out there and you got a business idea and you want to get on the show and you want to talk about it, contact me through Facebook Messenger and just send me a message, either through the Bull Snot Messenger or through Brown Ops, and then I'll call you and we'll get you on the show. We'll talk about it, because first thing I want everybody to understand is, if you really got a great idea, you may not want to talk about it directly on the show. You want to talk about maybe some implementation behind it, but the real idea, if it's patentable, you need to understand how to get patents. You need to understand how to get copyrights, trademarks. You need to understand how to incorporate. I mean, I've had all these conversations with Tony, because Tony is 9 million ideas a minute. And I have to validate all those damn burn ideas. You know, a lot of them are good, and some of them go, oh, hell no. That's the way it is. We're friends, so we can have real open conversations, and that's what I want to have with the audience of this show will be have very open conversations, but with a caveat, if I think your product is patentable or needs to be protected, we will talk about the business, but we won't talk about the product. Because I want to protect everybody as well. But I mean, it's pretty much going to be open to any business idea you want to get into. We'll even talk about if you want to go into Canada and, you know, become international, which Bull Snot will be in Canada in about 2 weeks. That's finally getting there. I've got my Canadian business license. Everything's registered. Trucker Josh, he's been promoting it up there for over a year, so I know everybody's ready.
And, you know, one of the maybe a good idea for the first, like you said, this is kind of a test run episode, and I'm the crash dummy. But
Make
maybe,
a good
you know,
crash dummy.
I got a hard head, you know. So Dad always told me if you're going to be stupid, you better be tough. So I'm used to the bumps and bruises. But anyway, you know, the first segment, I think, you know, we just had a conversation here a while back where I wanted to take an idea to a person and talk to them about it. And through a very hard lesson learned about doing that without having it protected, about 5 years ago, someone took an ideal and ran with it and ran it into the ground and it ruined it. But it was what it was. I went to someone for sponsorship about something that I was going to do, and they said, no, we're not interested. And next thing you know, lo and behold, they're doing exactly what I wanted to do at the place I wanted to do it at. So, you know, maybe the first episode would be, you know, how you protect yourself. So, I mean, you had a phone call the other day, and you sent me some stuff, you know, some literature.
Non-disclosure agreement, NDA.
What's it called again? I can't remember.
It's a non-disclosure agreement, confidentiality agreement.
Non-disclosure. Yes.
Yep.
So, you know, maybe that, you know, that's a good conversation there to start the first show off with, so people can, you know, get their stuff protected. And, you know, and then once maybe you talk to them through the emails or whatever, once you guys get that thing protected, then they can go ahead and come on the show and go into a more deeper conversation of what they're wanting to do and what their product is or ideal is. And that will help people to understand. Just to me, you know, to know what it is would help people to understand it a little bit more, why you're saying the things that you're saying. So, the first show could be on that confidentiality agreements and things like that. And
yeah, I mean, it truly is that simple. I mean, as you know, the music industry is rough. I mean, there's a lot of competition in the music industry, and everybody's trying to be on top of the charts. Well, the business industry is just the same. I mean, if you let ideas get out before you protect yourself with confidentiality agreements, then you just gave it to them. There's nothing that protects you except confidentiality agreements. And so if you're going to share a business idea, you need to have who you're sharing it with sign that in order to protect your idea and remains your intellectual property. That's what the conversation Tony and I had, because he got a great idea, a great business idea, and I can't tell you what it is, but he's got one, you know, and I fully got on board and embraced his idea, and I said, we can talk to some folks, but this is what we got to do first. And just those little coaching moments for truckers, that's what I want to do. I mean, if you got questions about something, how does something work? You know, I'm not an attorney, but I've worked with attorneys from a business standpoint for 30 years, so I know a lot of the legalities of business. And those small missteps can cost you a whole company real quick. So, but we'll get more into that a little later on. Like I said, this was truly just a kickoff to see how everything's going to work, to test out the equipment, and you know, definitely want to have everybody's ideas, inputs. What do y'all want to hear about? You know, you can leave comments under this podcast that's on Facebook Live, and we'll also post it on YouTube. But leave comments. We'll review the comments. We'll change and tailor the show to fit truckers. But it's going to be every Tuesday at 2. Won't be next week, but the first of the year we'll start with every Tuesday at 2. And so, what else you got on your mind, Tony?
Oh, that's it, baby. It's your show. I'm just along for the ride.
That sounds like when me and you are going to the truck shows. Hey, I'm just along for the ride. So, and
Yeah.
they're
So,
a lot of fun. How many truck shows you got scheduled next year already?
man, I know. I think we've got 6, that are in the books as far as contracted. That's definitely going to happen, and we've got probably another 10 that's talking to us. So it'll be a busy year, I'm sure. Last year was hectic, and we stayed pretty busy even through COVID 2020. And
Yep.
got a little busier this year. We had a good year, so it looks like next year's picking back up. We're going to be at the Mid American Truck Show. We're going to be up at Truckers for Hope. Doing a 4th of July celebration up in Ohio. Going back to the Bottomley Show there in end of September, 1st October up there in Mount Airy, North Carolina.
What about Gulf Shores? You going back down there?
Huh?
Gulf Shores? You going back to Gulf Shores truck show?
Gulf Shores, I would imagine. I just hadn't talked to her yet, but hopefully we'll get back down that way. It's a really great show down there. Of course, you got Guilty by Association Truck Show. We're always there in some sort of way. So it's a lot of fun getting out and putting faces with the Facebook names and meeting people and shaking hands and having that one-on-one. That's one of the biggest things that I enjoy about what I'm doing. And as you know, I feel very blessed every day, and thank God for what He's allowed me to do with the music. Thanks to all the people out there that support me. And so it's nice to get out there with them and just kind of hang out and fellowship. You out here on the road all the time, you hear, well, there ain't no old school truck drivers left or no old school values. And I tell people, go to a truck show. I mean,
Absolutely.
You get that. It's no doubt. You got everybody there with their trucks, and they all take pride in their trucks, and they take pride in what they do. That they know their value. They realize there's a lot of people out here just feel like we're disrespected, and they're really down on what they do for a living, and they don't take time to realize how important of a job it is, and how we keep this economy going. I've always said it, truck drivers are the hub of the economy wheel, and without it, nothing spins. So you get that old school fellowship feeling, and you meet a lot of great people, make a lot of new friends, and if you got kids, of course, they love coming out and looking at the trucks. And there's one thing in the trucking industry that has not changed is kids still love big truck as much as we did when we were little, and I love to see that. And so yeah, it's gonna be a fun year. Good Lord willing, we'll do tons of shows and get to hang out with my buddy Van there and shake a lot of hands and just get out there and get to talk with people and interact with them.
That's one thing I can say for sure. Tony is on my butt to go to truck shows, and because I'm pretty busy, obviously. But I just finally last year I broke down and started going to truck shows, and I ain't never had so much fun in ever. It's just a blast. Those kids down at the Gulf Shores with those remote control transfer trucks. Oh, that was a hoot. And then they had those go-karts that looked like trucks at Bottomley. And those were some bad little trucks, that's for sure.
That one actually had a diesel engine in it off of a zero turn, an actual diesel lawnmower engine in that go-kart truck, man. I mean, it was like full-fledged diesel. It had the chicken lights and it had the air compressor, for the air horn and all that. And that little kid was all decked out in his Wranglers and boots, button up and cowboy hat, giving everybody a ride. That was pretty cool to watch.
There's so much goes on these truck shows, but yeah, the camaraderie and getting to meet all the people that I'm friends with on Facebook, and you've talked on the phones several times, but just actually getting to meet them for the first time. I mean, it feels like you've been friends forever. I mean, I still remember at the Gulf Shores, that's the first time I met old Wingnut, and I've been talking to him on the phone for, I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years, and it's like we knew each other immediately. And he says, "Hey, wait a minute, we ain't never met before." Real life. And I said, you know what? You're right. But we've been talking so much as we knew each other. And and that's what you get into at the truck shows. A lot of people that you've been talking to on the phone or messaging back and forth, and when you get to meet them the first time, it is a cool experience. And there's just so much to do at those truck shows, and there's a lot. The truckers, they're all proud of each other. That's if one wins and the other one doesn't. They're still both proud of of being there. So I mean, it's a real neat experience. And did the same thing with Lee Owens. I talked to him for 2 years before I met him at the American Trucker Jubilee. And it's like we haven't, and there's a whole bunch of them out there that I've met like that. It's been fun, and gonna have a lot of fun next year because wherever Tony's playing, Bull Snot will be there. I already made the commitment. If he'd booked 16 shows, 20 shows, whatever it is, I'm gonna clear my plate, and I'm gonna be at those shows. So come out and see Tony play next year, and pick up a can of Bull Snot. And if you ever have any questions, all you gotta do is message me. I try to answer every message I get every single day. So it's a lot of fun. And we will start wrapping this up because I know Tony's got to make a delivery. He's on the road. He's gracious enough to, after he's already made 2 stops, he stopped again before he even has to make his final stop just to be on the show today. So I really appreciate that, Tony.
No problem. We enjoy being on here and the opportunity. I'm excited to see this blog kind of take off. I think it's got a lot of potential, and hopefully help a lot of people out. That's the main thing. There's so many people in this world that are quick to try to tear other people down, and very few that want to lift others up. And I think this is going to be that opportunity for you to be able to do that. And there's no better feeling in this world than giving or helping, as far as I'm concerned. So I think it's pretty cool that you're taking the time to do this. And I know there's definitely a need for it. And hopefully the word gets out. Everybody shares this and shares the future shows coming up. And we'll just keep it rolling and see where it goes. You never know what might come out of this deal.
And if you haven't liked the Bull Snot page on Facebook yet, please do. I know you did a giveaway this week, and yep, there's like over 500 new likes on the page. I was like, good gracious, in one day. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It is cool. We're going to do another giveaway of the herd of products one more time between now and Christmas, and Roadworks is giving us a custom grill that we're going to give away on the last day. So I mean, it's $1,000 item, and I think everybody's going to really like the opportunity to win that. Today we're giving away, as soon as I get up here, I got to let the computer generate and draw a name, see who wins the $500 that Hattie Jean with DPF Regeneration donated to the 12 Days of Merry Trucking Christmas giveaway. So somebody's going to get $500 to help with the holidays, here in a couple of days. Ever how long it takes her to mail that out, she's already got it. So a lot of fun getting to give stuff away. I've got to go next year. I want to get 12 sponsors that want their product advertised to give $1,000. We'll do a $12,000 12 Days of Merry Trucking Christmas giveaway. That's my goal. That'd be pretty cool to have 12 people, win $1,000 at Christmas time to help with those gifts or whatever. So it's a lot of fun. Appreciate you, Van, for donating the product, and that allows me to do that. And Hattie Jean with DPF Regeneration, my friends over at Roadworks, and Diesel Life give a really cool T-shirt and a cap combo, and so. It's been a lot of fun. A lot of people support what I do. Of course, always put my post, thanks to God and y'all, I wouldn't be able to do what I do without so many people that's behind me that no one knows about or ever hears their name. So,
well, all those people you mentioned are just fantastic. I mean, Diesel Life, Roadworks, Hattie, they don't come no better than DPF Regeneration with Hattie. She does a lot for a lot of people and never says a word.
No, and if you I want to make a post because if you ever tell people that I did that, I'll be mad at you. So, she really wants people talking about what she does. And she's just so genuine and so passionate toward truck drivers, and that's key, for me when we're talking to potential sponsors, I want to know that, of course, everybody's in business to make money, and I get that, but I want to see that genuine passion for truck drivers, because that's what I am. I'm sitting in my truck now going to my second drop. So down here in Alabama. So to have those sponsors come in that's genuinely passionate about drivers and understand that they are the ones that make this wheel turn, the whole industry. There's nothing without truck drivers. There's no Tony Justice music. There's no, Bull Snot. There's no freight being moved. There's no trucks being sold. I mean, it takes the guys and the gals that sit behind the wheel to make this whole thing work. They're the glue that holds it together. So anything that we can do to help those guys and gals out, I'm all for it. And I think this show's going to help some people. I think someone's going to come along, with an idea. You're going to be able to give them that, that process information from your years of experience of being in business. And, I can vouch for you how good, honest, straight up guy that you are, and, tell anybody that they can trust you. And so I'm looking forward to, what could come out of this. And like I said, appreciate being a part of it again.
All right, well, Tony, and we're going to cut the show off right there, and you be safe out there, and don't let those crazy four-wheelers jump out in front of you.
Well, we'll just try to keep our eyes peeled and stay out of everybody's way if we can, hopefully. And just wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year out there. I hope it's the most blessed Christmas holidays yet. And be safe. And for those that ain't getting to make it home for Christmas, God bless you for what you do. And everybody appreciates you.
All right, see you, buddy.
See you, Van. God bless.